Hello and welcome to November 2023. Seriously, where has this year gone? Seems like just yesterday was January. Anyways, today I want to talk about the real estate market, the Phoenix real estate market to be more specific. So stick around if you want to know more about what's happening in the real estate world here in Arizona. All right, let's do this. So if this is your first time to my channel, be sure you like, subscribe, and of course, ring that bell to get all the latest info on life and real estate here in sunny Arizona. My name's Len Nevin with Loyalty Home Group at eXp Realty, and I get calls, emails, and messages from people just like you all the time looking to move to Arizona or from within Arizona, and I absolutely love helping you with those moves. So be sure to check out the description below for my contact info, and please don't be shy about reaching out. I look forward to hearing from you. Now, let's dive into it. When I'm looking at the market and trying to decide how I think things are going, they going good? Are they going bad? Here's a few things that I like to look at. And these are the different statistics that I like to look at. I like to look at inventory, right? So how many homes are available for sale right now? Which direction is it going? Is it going up or is it going down? How many homes are under contract? So same thing, right? How many are we selling? Are we selling more or less than last month and last year? Closings, the big one, right? Once again, it's the same type of setup, right? So how many and where are we to year to date compared to where we were last year, a year ago, and even the year before that? Average sales price per square foot is another one I like, right? So I like this stat better than the average sales price because it seems to level things off, and honestly, it seems more honest. Another one is month supply of inventory. If no new homes hit the market today, how long would it take to sell every home that's available? That's another number I like to look at. And of course, interest rates. We all know why we want to look at interest rates, right? So, all right, let's dive in first into inventory, right? So right now we are seeing inventory rise. We're currently at about 14,000 homes available for sale when looking at all of Maricopa and Pinal counties here in Arizona. Now, a normal market should be around 20 to 24,000 homes, so we're still way under normal inventory. Also, the current rise we are seeing is not an anomaly. It's just something we see every year around this time. So it's definitely just a seasonal thing as we watch the inventory slowly climb. And honestly, I think it's probably going to level off here soon. Now, homes under contract. As of today, there are 5,493 homes under contract. The peak we saw this year was 9,640 homes. So this is definitely down from previous years, but not too much different from last year, to be honest. We're ticking in a downward direction, but once again, I can go back all the way to 2015. And it's the same thing in November. You always see sales tail off. Now let's look at the closings. So not just under contract, but does it close? To date, we're at about 60,000 homes sold in Maricopa and Pinal counties. Compare that to 72,000 a year ago and 89,000 2 years ago. The average for this time of year is about 70,000, so we're definitely down compared to where we should be. But with a massive amount of the population holding interest rates below 4%, there's just really a lot less buyers and sellers. So it's just kind of to be thought of. What else are you going to do? Now let's look at the average sales price per square foot. As of the end of October, we saw that at $296.65 a foot. The peak last year was $305.95. So we're definitely moving back in the direction that we were, but we're not quite there yet. But definitely we've been seeing that climb all year. Now, current month supply of inventory is at 2.8 months. A normal, healthy market is typically between 3 and 5 months. As you can see, we are still in the low inventory market. At one point, way back in June, we hit 1.3 months of inventory. So if you look at a 10-year historical graph of this data, you'll see that it does kind of fluctuate up and down throughout the year. But, we haven't seen 3 to 5 months in all honesty since 2014. So it's almost been 10 years since we've seen a normal market here in Phoenix. Now let's talk rates, right? So as of last Thursday, we saw that average out at about 7.76%. But of course, on Thursday, the Fed decided to hold off on raising interest rates. So we've seen the interest rates actually drop in the last few days. Our hope is that we're going to end up in the 6% range somehow by the end of the year and to the beginning of the year. So that's kind of our hope based off of what we're seeing. Another thing that triggered that was the low jobs market numbers. So wrapping up, all in all, the health of the market right now really depends on who you talk to. If you're a seller, you're not in bad shape. If you're a buyer, you're kind of like, oh, these interest rates, right? So it just all depends on who you're talking to. If I was a buyer, in all honesty, I would be heavily looking out in this market right now. The fall time is always historically one of the best times to get a great deal on a home. And most sellers are willing to negotiate because if they're on the market right now, they probably need to be, right? And so if I was looking to sell my home right now, what I'd be doing is I would be making sure that I price my home spot on. I don't want to be too high. I don't want to be too low. So I'm going to look at all the comps in the area and make sure that I'm right where I need to be to get that quick sale. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that my home is renovated to the best of my ability. The homes that are turnkey, ready to move in with nothing to do, those are the ones that are still selling for top dollar. They're selling quick and they're selling with multiple offers. So that's what I would be doing if I was a seller. All in all, like I said, wrapping up, the market is, it's all depends on who you talk to, right? My forecast, if you want to ask that for next year, is what I anticipate happening is what happens every year, right? It's November. What I expect is inventory to kind of level off. And then what I expect to see is it start to drop down in December. And then it'll actually continue to drop down into January as we see sales start to pick back up. The second week of January is typically, historically speaking, is when we see when we see sales start to pick back up. So my prediction is if this next 12 months is like all the previous years, we're going to see the spring market take off, especially if we can couple that with interest rates into the 6% range. Because if you have a normal, if the quoted interest rate is in the 6%, that means you can buy it down into the 5s. So you're getting closer to what we were kind of used to when we saw the market just kind of humming along, right? So that's my prediction for that. Reach out if you have any questions. I love this stuff. I study the market every single day. It's what I do. I love doing this. So reach out if you have any specific questions. I'd love to answer those for you. I'd love to show you some houses that are out there, give you some options. Like I said, if you were looking to buy right now, I'd be ecstatic to go and show you some places because this is the most fun time of year to go and just negotiate and really get a good deal on that next house that you're looking for. And then, as interest rates drop, then you can always refinance in the future. So this is a great time to snag a house, especially if you see something that you like. Like I said, reach out if you need anything. We'll catch you next time.